Welcome to Beyond Belief, the art of strange mentalism, with your host, Tommy Burnett. This week's special guest is Micah Cover. And now your host, Tommy Burnett.
Whoa, that was horrible. Hi guys, welcome back to my show Beyond Belief, the art of strange, well, it says mentalism, but it can be magic, it can be juggling, which our guests can do a lot better than I can. I can go 1, 2, 3. Whoa. That's a very quick juggling act for me. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, he can juggle blindfolded on what I call the wheel of death. There's
Yes.
I have a friend here, Miles, and I gave him that for free. I said you should call that the wheel of death, and then
Yes.
the plank of life, and then you're balancing between life and death. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, and he never took it. So, Micah, if you want to use that, run with it. I think it's a great idea. But anyway, um, yeah, my if you haven't figured it out, my guest today is a very good friend named Micah Cover. He's a musician, a comedian, an author, a playwright, a juggler, um, a trampoline. I'll say trampoline artist because
I'll take it.
that's what it is. You know, you have to be good at trampolining unless you break your neck. But I was. I was on the trampoline once, uh, 20 years ago. I had fun until I hit my head hit my head on the edge of the trampoline, even though I had the webbing around it. I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
hit my neck on the edge, and that was it for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, uh, you guys don't want to see me by myself. Let me bring out my good friend, Mr. Micah Colvin. There he is, my good friend Micah Colvin. Now, before we, well, go ahead and say hi. Hi.
Whoa. Hi.
Yeah. Before we move into, I want to give you kudos um, for what's behind you.
Oh, thank you.
Um, for those who don't, for those of you who don't know, Micah wrote a play about Sherlock Holmes, who is one of my favorite fictional characters, and I'm actually, if you haven't seen it yet, I'm rewatching a show on Amazon called Young Sherlock, which is about Sherlock Holmes when, when he was young, in college, and it's a very. I thought it was excellent, and I'm here visiting family. I got my brother watching it last night, and he likes it. Um, anyway, it's on Amazon Prime. However, Micah, your play, uh, I unfortunately didn't get to see it in person, but I did get to see it on video. And I really enjoyed it. I loved it. Um, um, and I'm really impressed how you got that all together. And I would like to talk about that for a little bit before we get into talking about magic, because I know how important it is to you. So um, why don't we do that first?
Thank you, Tommy. And yeah, before first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I have a bit of an okay, good. As you know, my Commodore 64 is a little unpredictable, so thank you for your patience, Tommy. But yeah, thank you for asking about the play. It's called Last. Oh, that's there I am with a mustache.
Yeah.
It's called Last Case of Dr. Watson. And Tommy, you were kind enough to read one of the original drafts and even watch the closing night performance on YouTube. You even literally contributed to it. You were one of our first supporters. You were one of our kindest reviewers, which I was able to use for promotion. And on top of that, not only are you a fan of Sherlock Holmes, which makes sense because you're a mentalist, and we can talk about that later if you want. But I also know you are a fan of Edgar Allan Poe as well. And of course, we wouldn't have Sherlock Holmes without old Eddie. And I kind of found out by accident that you were a fan of Edgar Allan Poe as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were on the same Zoom meeting together on an Edgar Allan Poe Society meeting, and I know how you railed about Mycroft Holmes. Get out of your chair, you fat lazy bum! Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I get it. You have a point. You have a point, Tommy. But yeah, so you're a fan of Poe like me. You're a fan of Sherlock Holmes like me, and it just meant the world that a fellow performer, not just performer but storyteller had was so supportive of our play. And Tommy, I can't thank you enough, and I can't thank you enough for letting me be on your show today. So thank you.
Thank you. Uh, normally I have to pay people to get on the show. But oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that out loud. I'm sorry.
Oh, did you? We're recording, Tommy. We're recording. We're gonna fix that in post. We're gonna fix that in post, Tommy.
Yeah. uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, mm, you are a musician and a pretty good juggler. I don't know. I've only seen you do like three balls, but for me, it's I can do two. I can do two.
All right. There you go.
And
That's better than one. That's twice as good as one.
and I wasn't joking. I can do three, but it's like one, two, three, boom, boom, boom.
Boom.
uh,
Yeah.
but I every now and then I try, and you know, I can't keep them in the same space. They even go away from me, or they keep coming at me like they want to get rid of me somehow.
They want to get rid of you. Yeah.
Probably you
Yeah.
will take it. Yeah, anyway. Too much coffee, I think. Yeah. Do you, do you ever do juggling in your act, or is it just like a hobby, or explain that to me? Uh,
It deserves explanation, right? Yeah. One more indication that Micah has no social life. Well said, Tommy. It needs explanation. It needs no. I know what you mean. So, Tommy, you've mentioned this yourself before. But not unlike the overlap between magic and Sherlock Holmes, there's definitely an overlap between magic and juggling.
oh
A
yeah.
lot of jugglers are magicians and vice versa. And it makes sense. There are motor skills in juggling. Obviously, it's nothing but motor skills. And of course, magic, especially if you do sleight of hand. And you rely on the classics, I know. And the classics almost always depend on sleight of hand. And not all of them, but many, as you know better than I would, many of them do. That's what makes them classics. And any kind of motor skills will help. Well, I genuinely believe that being a better juggler can make you a better magician and vice versa.
Mhm.
So the thing is, and you know this, Tommy, it's so freaking hard to get footage of your work. Do you know what I mean? Um, I know some. And I know some hot magicians who can always call up a guy, hey, you want to come to my show and film it? Oh yeah, and so they'll drool while they're taking video of this magician they got a crush on. But I don't have that luxury, so it's very difficult to find a second person who has equally no life as I do and shows up maybe hopefully for free and film me. And so the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I do actually use juggling frequently in my magic acts. It's just you never get to see it because it's so hard to get that second person to take video of it. And you know how this goes. Sometimes you'll ask your client, is it okay if I take video? And then they say no. Oh, how dare you? No, my audiences and my friends, they're too shy. And then they take video of it anyway and then post it all over their social media. It's a very difficult, challenging thing. So I mentioned this because I do actually use juggling in my act. You don't actually get to see it. I actually do a mentalism routine while juggling on the what do you call it, the plank of life slash wheel of death.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I have to read four people's minds 52 times with a shuffled deck. And so that's one of the toughest things I know how to do. It's just it's so hard to get video footage of it. So yeah, I actually use juggling frequently. And as you know, as you mentioned this, I use the blindfold as well.
Yeah.
So of course, if I can use the blindfold on the trampoline or while juggling, I can definitely use it to help fight stage fright and nerves while, say, doing a mentalism routine on stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, they all kind of overlap. That was a long-winded answer, but I hope that addresses your question.
I just remember the blindfold when you mentioned that, and I mean
Yeah.
that in itself is hard enough to juggle when you're looking at it, you know. Um,
Yes. Yeah.
and I know you're not supposed to look at them when you juggle, but you
Yeah. Yeah.
have like a sort of like a window that you're trying to keep them in, you know. Um, so you're at least paying attention to them. But I would think that the more you do it, the less you really have to. You can probably do it without like really thinking about it. Yeah.
You bring up an excellent point. And Tommy, I would defy you to find a difference between what you just said and a very good definition of sleight of hand.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Everything you just said. If someone came into this meeting now and they were listening to you now, I would bet most of them would think you were talking about sleight of hand.
Yeah.
And you described that perfectly and eloquently. And I think they're synonymous in that light. Juggling and sleight of hand are the same thing. And I've seen you do the classics. And I know you know how to do sleight of hand, and I know you know how to connect with the audience, and you know better than anybody if you're doing sleight of hand and you're staring at that moment, they're going to stare at it too. They might burn you. You might accidentally flash. It might become a self-fulfilling prophecy where everything just goes crumbling around you. But if you can be like Tommy, if you can be more like Tommy and do the sleight of hand with the classics, or I don't know, maybe stroke his beard for a little bit of misdirection or something like that. We're all talking about sleight of hand and motor skills, and that's basically the same thing as juggling. So yeah, if we apply those same words to juggling and then those same words to sleight of hand, um, I firmly believe that it does make us better magicians and conversely better jugglers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So well said, Tommy.
I uh, you kind of put it into a little both for me, but um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I am by no means an expert at the Rubik's Cube, but I can solve it now. You know,
Oh, nice.
it takes me about maybe 4 to 4.5 minutes. But I will never be one of those people who go, okay, done. You know, but
Right, right.
I can do it without most of the time. I can do it now without actually paying attention to it. So
Oh, wow.
every now and then I have to look to see where I am, but I can
Yeah.
do it mostly moves without looking at it, and that's just
Oh, wow.
by you know, it's muscle memory, which is what we're talking
Yeah.
about. The more you do it, you get used to certain moves that you know are going to come up um, at a certain point, and so I can look away and just do it, and then I get to check and see where I'm at, and then I can continue without looking at it. Um,
Wow.
but that's taken me like a year of practicing it. Um,
Yep.
I don't ever expect to be any faster or, I don't think my hands can go that fast anymore.
Yeah.
I,
Okay.
I'm happy I can do it in you know, under 5 minutes. It's not fast enough as a performance, but but
Hmm.
as a satisfactory thing for me, it's something I wanted to do my whole life. So um, I think it fits in within what was the scope of what we're talking about, that juggling and sleight of hand uh, are very similar
Yes.
in that regard. Um, yeah, in that regard, yeah. Um, well, let's talk about. Hey, you can talk about now. Uh, this, this is really about you. Um, so you, I gotta say, I love the photos that you post of your of your set with the tables and the signs. Please don't be this sign. Please don't be
Yes.
you. And then the money the name that guy.
Yeah, we're getting some background from somebody. Okay.
I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Uh, anyway, uh, yeah, I think Ian, I'm gonna make a call just in case.
Oh, thank you, Ian.
Yeah, thank you, Ian. Uh,
The only man on Zoom who can co-host while he's still horizontal, ladies. That is hot.
yeah,
That is hot.
no problem.
I speaking of skills, yeah, I don't have that skill. Thank you, Ian.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah.
When I lay down, my whole face kind of does that,
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Um, so you performed a lot. You performed on Penn and Teller Fools. You performed at um, the Magic Circle. I mean, um, wow. I get the UK on my mind. The Magic Castle in
Yeah.
um, what? How has that been for you? Um, First of all, I think I already know the story, but um, tell us the story about being on Penn and Teller Fools, if you don't mind.
Wow. Yeah, not at all. And yeah, thank you for all those credentials. And actually, technically, I haven't performed for the Magic Circle yet, but I did have the honor of lecturing for them. And I think you were at that lecture.
Oh,
Yes. Yeah, and it did include a performance specifically breaking down my Penn and Teller Fool Us act, and you were there, and thank you very much for being there, especially as a mentalist, because as you know, it's a card routine, but technically it's a mentalism routine where the volunteer, in this case, Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she was the instant not just magician but mentalist. So it meant the world that you were there, Tommy. But yeah, so regarding Penn and Teller, yeah, that's a story. Are you busy, Tommy? Do you have time? Are you busy? Are you in the middle of anything right now?
bad.
Got it right. Okay, got to speed things up. Speed things up. All right. So Tommy, I have to preface this with a question to you. Have you considered Penn and Teller? Is that on your mind at all?
I have auditioned once.
Okay,
I would love to be on Penn and Teller. If,
sure.
yeah, if you have any tips, I know a lot of people who have been on Penn and Teller. A number of people I perform with or used to perform with regularly have been on Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
I don't know if they didn't like the fact that I had a speech impediment or they didn't like the trick that I presented, or both, or none of the above. I don't know. I sort of gave up on it, but I probably should try again. Um, you know, I don't know, to be honest. Even if I
Yeah.
don't, it's for me, it's not about like fooling them. It would be great if I did, but just
Yeah.
being on the show for exposure, and I know we hate that word as musicians. Oh, it'll be good exposure for you, But
Yes.
you know, but
Yeah.
this would be good exposure for me. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and on my website, I've been in Penn Teller, It would be,
Yeah.
I should say, I fooled Penn Teller, but to be fair,
Right.
right now I can say I fooled two people who fooled Penn Teller. I fooled Adam Wilbur with an original trick, and I fooled um, Stephen Buzzard, the
Wow. Okay.
cube trick. Um, was something that I came up with. Um,
Wow.
um, I don't think it will work on Penn and Teller. I don't think it will fall down. It,
Uh-huh.
it might because it's so off the radar, um, and it's so simple that it might, but I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to you. We can talk about me um, any old time. Uh, but yeah, so
Um,
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Did you finish your thought?
No, I was going to ask you why you asked me if I had thought about it.
Oh yeah, but for all the things that you just mentioned, I think they'd be lucky to have you. And since we're all stuck here together for the next 30 minutes or so, I might as well tell you the story. And you did ask, but you'll discover in my story that just randomness and blind luck, and your luck finally turning around over time can have as much to do with this as anything else.
Yeah.
So, and I completely get it. It sounded like you submitted once or multiple times, or what? Is there a number to that? Once. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar a lot of A- AZT.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
So I kind of was like, all right, I'm done with them. I was with Penn and Teller once, and, you know, um, I didn't hear anything from them, so I wrote to Michael Close, um,
Hmm.
asking me if he had seen my edition, and he could go back and say yes.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's all you'll get. That's all you'll get.
That's all I wanted to know. That's all I wanted to know. I wasn't like fishing for, I just wanted to know if they got it. Um, anyway, I know for long, it wasn't necessarily the best outcome for you, um, being on the show, but I know, uh, Well, I'll let you tell the story. I know it was kind of, well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'm making this all up in my mind. How was it for you, be, being a pedagogue? Tell us all.
Okay, yeah.
Tell
All
us
right, so here we go. Ian, you better lie down because this is going to be an exciting story. Yeah. So so this was a few years ago. As many of the magicians here know, Penn and Teller now, in the last couple of years or so, they're being very proactive about recruiting people and auditioners and submissions. They're putting advertisements like in the Linking Ring and other periodicals, and I see it all the time on social media, specifically Instagram, where they're saying, "Here's the latest audition and here's our latest deadline." Um, in my experience, they've only been doing this the last few years or so.
us.
I didn't notice this before. And I say that pretty confidently because if I had noticed it, I would have auditioned earlier because I didn't know this opportunity existed. I thought they reached out to people, celebrities, they found them. They're Penn and Teller. They have almost infinite resources. I had no clue how this worked. Well, one day I got an email from, speaking of the castle, the Magic Castle, for those of you who are not familiar, it's kind of the epicenter of magic for us Americans, but really so much of the world. And a lot of they have England Week specifically, where the entire week you can only be from England. And the whole roster that week of about 8 magicians, they're all from England. And so it is an international epicenter of magic. And it was one of, oh, hello, and hello, I suddenly got bigger, like my ego. Okay, well, thank you, Tommy.
Yeah.
And okay, well, thank you. Yeah, so it is one of the reasons why I moved out here. So one day I auditioned, I became a member, and one day I got an email from the Magic Castle. Oh, and so I bring this up because the Magic Castle is known for two things: one, being an international epicenter of magic, and two, their their failure to communicate. It's a lot like dating. I discovered. Yay! So it's like when Tommy pours out his heart and his art and his soul into an act, and he writes them and says, "Did you get it? Did you get it? Did you get it?" And they write back, "Yes." So it's a lot like dating. You know what I'm saying? You're like, okay, whatever. I have no idea where I stand with you. Are we just friends? Do I still have to drive you to the airport? It's that kind of thing. So the Magic Castle is exactly the same way. And one day they emailed me, this was years ago, before Penn and Teller got proactive about recruiting people. They sent me an email saying, please submit your act to the following email address for Penn and Teller Fool Us. Out of nowhere, no context, nothing. And I thought this was meant for someone else.
Hmm.
And I said so. And I replied, said, thank you so much, but I have no idea what this is about. Was this intended for someone else? And they replied with, please direct all questions to the aforementioned email address already included in the previous email. Yay, we are dating. Yay. So to this day, I have no idea why they sent it to me, why they sent it to me then. Because the irony was, soon after that, Penn and Teller did start advertising for submissions. So I would have done it anyway. But why I got that email from them at that time is still a mystery for the ages.
Wow.
So I recorded I sent them a recording of what I call real magic, where the volunteers, the instant magician or mentalist, you've seen me perform it on at least one occasion online, including Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
So I sent it off. Yeah, I sent it off to them, and nothing. Yay, we're dating. I sent it off to them another year. Nothing. We're dating. I sent it off to them for the third year in a row. And so, Tommy, I bring this up. This is why one of the reasons why I was asking, because I know that you submitted once, and
Yeah.
I know that it's frustrating and even heartbreaking when all you get back is a yes, and then time goes by and it's clear they're not going to use you. I decided I'm gonna email them once a year every year. And so I did. And on the third and final attempt, I got an email back saying, how did you do it?
Wow.
And yeah, this was 3 years later, my third attempt. And they wrote back, how did you do it? and it was the great Tom Sony, Johnny Thompson, was emailing me. This guy I used to watch on TV when I was a kid, and Ian is kind of the resident historian. He knows all about this dude. The great Tom Sony, the guy I was watching on TV as a kid, he wrote back because now he was one of the casting directors of Penn and Teller Fool Us. And the great Tom Sony wrote back to me and said, "How did you do it?" And I'm freaking out. Now, this is not a guarantee that they're going to use me. And even if they fly you out to Vegas and shoot the footage, that's still not a guarantee they're going to use it. And I know at least one magician who did all of that, and they cut him anyway.
Yeah.
So this isn't a guarantee, but now I'm freaking out. And so I like that night into like 1 a.m. in the morning, I'm still typing away. Okay, Mr. Great Tom Sony, I love you. This is how I did it. And I hit reply. And a few days later, the great Tom Sony died. And when I tell people this story, even the muggles are like, "Wow, your card routine killed the great Tom Sony." I'm like, "No, it was his age. He was supposed to die. It was fate. It was destiny." Now I get to be that dick who talks about how the great Tom Sony, one of the greatest magicians of our generation, was supposed to die. That's my defense when muggles start telling me how I killed the great Tom Sony. I get to be that dick now. I'm like, oh my God. So, I mean, rest in peace, the master. The guy was a genius, but it was heartbreaking on several levels.
Yeah.
And Tommy's eating popcorn now. He's like, "Oh, this movie's getting interesting." Okay, yeah, Reese's. That's even better. Dipped Reese's. Oh, animal crackers, dipped Reese's. That's my favorite. Those are my favorite words in the same sentence in the English language. Well played. You literally have excellent taste. Look at that.
Peanut butter in the middle and chocolate.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong.
and it's an animal cracker.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brought
Oh,
you by Reese's. Yeah.
brought to you by Reese's. Yes. Oh, chocolate dipped Reese's animal crackers. The only time you don't have to feel guilty for being a carnivore. You literally have excellent taste, Tommy. All right. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I'd be snacking on those too. Okay. So the great Tom Sony dies, and then another. Yeah. And I know, right? And another year goes by, and I'm thinking, I still have this email address I didn't know existed. And a year goes by, and just on a roll of the dice, this is now year number 4. I resubmit, and the new guy, the replacement for the great Tom Sony, he writes me back and says, "How did you do it?" So this means that not only was my routine possibly the routine that killed the great Tom Sony, but not only does this mean that it was one of the last things he ever saw, especially as the casting director for Penn and Teller Fool Us, apparently he died with my secrets with him. He didn't tell anybody else, including his coworkers at Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Wow.
So I'm freaking out. And once again, 1 a.m, I'm typing away. Okay, this is how I did it. Please don't die, but this is how I did it. And I write everything out again, and I hit reply, and they send me a round trip ticket to Vegas, and I get to shoot, and I get to do it with Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And as you saw the footage, she was just fantastic. And as you know, Tommy, it is a speaking of roll of the dice and speaking of luck, it is luck. You do not meet Allison until the cameras roll on not only what is take 1, but your only take. You're only given 1 shot. And when they say action and the cameras roll, that's when you meet Allison. So when Allison and everybody wrote to me, "Oh, well, you worked with Allison before the show." And one, as you know, Stooges are not allowed. So those of you who are interested in submitting to Penn and Teller, Stooges are not allowed, and it's not even just an ethical thing. There's no opportunity. You don't get to meet anybody until the cameras roll and they say action, and then it's too late. And then the other thing is, yeah, you know what? Allison and I, we just hang out all the time. She's kind of my, my side chick, and she wants to get all committed, and I don't know how I feel. Are you kidding me? There's no way they would let me anywhere near that woman before the show. So everything happened impromptu, which is another reason why I like the routine, but it is a risk. So I was taking a risk as soon as Allison sat down. Um, I was taking a risk. I had no idea if this was going to work, and I had one shot, but she was great. So that's what happened to me on Penn and Teller Fool Us. I have submitted again, and I did write to them, Tommy, and I said, "Hey, did you get the footage? And what do you think they said, Tommy?"
How do you do it?
You're giving me too much credit. You're giving me too much credit, Tommy. They wrote me back and said, yes. So anyway, yeah. So you and I have a lot in common. So, but that was very kind of you to say that. That was very kind of you to say that, Tommy. But the point is, what I submitted to them was the routine I just described to you. When I'm on the plank of life, the wheel of death, juggling while trying to read the minds of 4 volunteers 52 times through a shuffled deck. That's what I sent them. Who knows if they're going to use it? But that brings me to one other thing, Tommy. You've mentioned this more than once. I don't think this is going to fool them. But at the same time, you also mentioned, but they also say that's not necessarily the point. And everything you said was true. Um, I did fool enough casting directors to get their attention.
Right.
Now, as you know, I did. I ultimately did not fool Penn and Teller, but I did fool enough casting directors to get their attention. But that said, Tommy, I have no idea why they ignored me the first, what was it, 3 years. I had no idea why the great Tom Sony waited for 3 years to say to me, how did you do it? Because I think he was the casting director that entire time.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. And then even though they do tell you, well, it's kind of the two sides of the same coin. They just keep telling you you're probably not going to fool them. And unfortunately, they're right. But at the other side of that same coin, they also say that's not really the point of the show.
Right.
And according to the lore of this show, Penn and Teller pitched the CW and said, we just want to do a magic show. And the CW came back with, no, 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 it's got to be a competition or something like that. There's going to be drama and conflict. Otherwise, we're not going to do it and no one's going to watch it. Well, who knows if that's actually true, but that's what the CW said back to them. And according to the lore of the origin story, Penn and Teller realized, well, wait a minute. How about we do make it a competition, but they got to fool us. And the open secret that everyone knows is we don't really care anyway. We just want to get magicians on TV, which is what we wanted to do in the first place. And God bless Penn and Teller, that's exactly what they did. So the casting directors keep telling you there's a good chance you're not going to fool them. But at the same time, exactly mirroring what you just said, Tommy, at the same time, they do kind of admit that's not really the point of the show anyway. And then, Tommy, as you said, whether you fool them or not, it's going to be, there's that E word, exposure. But this is exposure we actually like because it did help me out. It did introduce me to people I never would have met otherwise. And I have had people come up to me and say, how did you do it? Which is kind of fun. So I understand the one submission and the yes reply. I get all that, but you might consider doing it again, Tommy, because they have another deadline coming up. They're going to be filming in LA, and if they take you, you can fly out to LA. I can finally meet you.
I know.
And there also have been whispers that they are starting to shut things down. I don't know if it's true, but that's the word on the street. And if that's the case, if there's an opportunity to submit again, might as well take it. Just so that way you can say, if the show does shut down, you can say, well, at least I did my best and I didn't let it slide. Because I'm telling you, Tommy, they would. I understand what you were saying. Why did they reject my submission? Was it because of this or because of that? We don't know. To this day, I was on the show and I still don't know why they rejected me and then why they finally took me. I don't know. And now it's a very good routine. But Tommy, so is all of your stuff. So is anything that you would submit. So my friends, tell you what, let's give Tommy some validation. I'm gonna put a thumbs up into the reaction. If you think Tommy should resubmit, give us a thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, I see Andrew's looking for his keyboard. And okay, we're it's Andrew, and I called it. Andrew was the first one. Yes. So you have at least one fan. Jay says yes. Tommy, we think you should resubmit. I do think they would be lucky to have you, my friend. Oh, thank you, Merson G. Yeah. So that's what I think.
Yeah. I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's all the time we have. No.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you for coming. Oh, and
Um.
Tommy, I gotta ask you got some cool merch happening there. What are we wearing today, Tommy?
Well, let's see.
Yeah. Oh,
We have
I
a
like that.
beautiful sun dive or whatever it is. I think it's
Yeah.
based on a Mayan depiction of the sun. I could be wrong. My brother,
Nice.
my brother thinks it's an old uh, CW before it was the CW in New York. It was WPIX, and they used to have the Sunday afternoon film, and that was the logo for.
Oh, nice.
That's what he thinks it is. I think it's a Mayan, a Mayan sun, but who knows? It could be a, it could be
Could
both.
be both.
Um,
Yeah.
and it came from Timu, brought to you by Timu. Yeah,
Today's episode is brought to you by Reese's and Timu. I love your sponsors, Tommy.
it's not this one, but I actually bought a cell phone from Timu,
No way.
a Nokia phone, like a recent Nokia phone,
Yeah. Yeah.
$35, $35. It doesn't have any service, but you can use it with any company. It's basically a brand new phone. Um, and I found out about this app called Text Now, brought to you by Text Now. Uh, hey,
Sponsors you have, Tommy.
you never know. But yeah, that is an app that basically gives you free cell phone service so you can make calls and you can do text absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. If you want to pay a little extra, um, it gets rid of the ads. It has ads on it.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, so I now have a second phone that works
Yeah.
as well as this one. Um,
That's fantastic.
but that's my new business phone, and this is my personal phone. Brought to you by
Love it.
Nokia. Brought to you by Nokia.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
Nice. Why aren't we more rich with all of these sponsors, Tommy? It's a mystery. Yeah.
I hope I don't get in trouble for bringing all these companies up. Uh,
They should be sponsoring you, Tommy. They should be happy and thanking you, definitely. Right?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, what we got at least six people on this Zoom call, and I think they're all international. So you're welcome, Nokia. You're welcome, Reese's. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, we got people from the UK,
Yeah.
all parts of the UK, going
Yeah.
all the way up to Scotland, which is
That's right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Merson, you're from Scotland, is that right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes. And he gave us the Scottish thumbs up.
yeah,
Yeah, which is better than the Roman. Thank you for doing that, Merson. It's all about the color. Right, 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 right. Yeah. Thank you, Merson, for giving us the Scottish thumbs up. We appreciate it. Yeah. All
yeah.
right. Yeah. Go ahead, Tommy.
Um, so that was the Penn and Teller story. What is it like performing at the castle? You just kind of touched a little bit on it. Um, every musician's dream is to perform
Yeah.
at the castle. At least every American. I don't know about people in the UK, but growing up, that was like a dream for me. Um,
Yeah. So, as you say, it's every American's magician's dream. Now, every American magician would love to play the magic circle And I had the honor of lecturing for them. That's not quite the same as performing, but for me, it was pretty damn close. So conversely, I would bet almost any magician around the world has heard of the Magic Castle. It's one of the reasons why I moved out here. One of the biggest reasons. I just wanted to be literally close to it, hoping that that would inspire them to hire me. It didn't quite work out that way, but yeah. And again, it's so much of it is luck, Tommy. So much of it is shrugging your shoulders and scratching your head and going, why now and why not then? And what happened and how come they're not bringing me back? They never tell you. You never know. It's just like dating, Tommy.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, yes, as I mentioned, it's just like dating. So if you are lucky enough to play the castle, it is like kind of like our Oscars. It's like kind of the end all be all. And then it's like acting. You have an acting background as well. I know you're from an acting family. And man, when you get on TV for like a day player or Penn and Teller or anything like that, you feel like royalty and you're like, oh my God, my dreams have come true. And then the day is over, you go back home and now you're like, wait, it's over. Wait, now what? And now you're back to almost to square one. You know what I mean? So I'm very grateful when they did book me. You have no control or say over when they book you, if they book you, how often. You just keep submitting like Penn and Teller, like so many other entities. And if you get it is fantastic. And there are people who will come from all over the world to see you. There was a television show called The Magical Land of Alakazam, hosted by Mark Wilson and the Wilson family. I don't know. They spent a lot of time in China and touring, but I don't know if they spent a lot of time in England. But to me, they were my heroes. And I used to watch little Greg Wilson, the son,
Right.
performing magic.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Hopefully, I didn't freeze, Tommy. Hopefully, you can still hear me. I know I'm rambling a little bit.
If you were speaking, go back a few words to,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. Brought to you by Commodore 64. That's my sponsor, Tommy. Commodore's, that's my sponsor. So, yeah. So Greg Wilson was this kid on this TV show that I used to watch. And years later, I got booked on the Magic Castle. And not only was I opening for Greg Wilson, he was the performer after me in the same room, the close-up gallery. He came early to see my set and he sat down at the table with me and he became Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was my instant magician from beginning to end, and he was freaking brilliant. And ever since then, he's booked me on his show. And that ended up on Zoom, and it was a lot of fun. Not quite the same as international TV, but I will take it. I got to share the stage with literally my childhood hero. That was the same year, I think, that I literally opened for Pop Hayden. And those of you who are magicians, you know who this guy is. He was the second performer in the same room. He came early to see my set. And Real Magic, some of you may already know this, was inspired by Pop Hayden's routine for the blind that he published in his lecture notes, where he thought, can I do a card trick with a blind person? And the answer is yes. And not only that, the blind person becomes the instant magician. That inspired my Real Magic routine that got on Penn and Teller. And I reached out to Pop and I said, is it okay if I use this? Is it okay if I submit it? And he gave me his blessing. And I was booked a number of times immediately after my Penn and Teller episode because of the Penn and Teller episode. And that never would have happened without Pop Hayden. So things like that can happen to you at the Magic Castle. So Tommy, not if, but when you perform in the Magic Castle, I'll finally get to see you because you'll be performing, you'll be in LA. And then these kinds of things will be happening to you. And a lot of people who have bought your products, your Haunted Key, your book, your all the stuff off of your website, some of them will come to the castle specifically to see Tommy Burnett, to ask Tommy Burnett to sign their copy of Tommy Burnett's book and that kind of thing. That kind of thing can and will happen to you, Tommy. So I hope you try that as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been telling me to do that. I have a number of friends who have performed at the castle, including yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's something I need. I basically need to get off of my butt and make it happen. And I will. I promise.
All right, here we go. We're going to do another vote. I'm going to put up a thumbs up for Tommy for submitting to the Magic Castle. If anyone's with me, let's see those thumbs up. Yes, Andrew, once again. Andrew wins the first thumbs up. And once again from Jay. Oh, even Merson. Oh, they're even more excited about you performing at the castle than maybe even Penn and Teller. And I don't blame them. Oh, and we got an applause from Jay. Jay is already applauding you for a routine, for a set you haven't even performed yet. That's how powerful you are, Tommy.
Good.
That's pretty good.
That's how good.
Yeah, that's how good you are. That's how good you are. That's a hell of a mentalism routine where you're like, I predict
Yeah.
people will applaud for me. I won't even perform, and it comes true. You can't do better than that. Yeah, look at he's doing it. He's doing it, and it came true. Yeah, the man who knows too much, the man who gets too much applause. That's Tommy Burnett. Yeah,
Yeah. Gotta have what my mentor calls the headache face.
the headache, the, the Professor Xavier headache face. I love that. Yeah, the migraine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's dramatic. That's drama. That's conflict. Yeah, the headache face. I love that. Wow, I get that from women all the time. I thought they didn't like me. No, they're just mentalists. Thank you, Ken Nepper. Thank you, Ken Nepper, for putting my mind at ease. I'm not as creepy as I thought. They're all mentalists. Yeah, thank you, Tommy.
Yeah.
Thank you. That puts my heart at ease.
Yeah. Well, I think he posted on Facebook, why do all Muslims have a headshot like this? You know?
The headache face. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
uh,
love it. I love it.
I mean, I do it in my act. You know, I'll
Sure.
you know, for the headshot, I agree. I don't think it's necessary to do that in a headshot.
Right.
Everybody does it, you know, for one.
They do.
You know,
And if it's good enough for Professor Xavier, it's good enough for me. So I wouldn't mind being a mind reading mutant. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all.
I,
Yeah.
I like the I like this one.
Oh, yeah. Yes. 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 I dip my glasses in just a little bit of honey, and yeah, maybe lavender honey,
Yeah,
maybe spiced honey to literally spice it up. But yeah, this tastes good, and everybody thinks I'm being dramatic. I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah,
yeah.
I love it.
What have we not spoken about yet? Um, you have a wonderful sense of humor, and one thing that I love about you is, I mean, I've only seen you on Zoom, so um, I'm assuming you're as good in person than you are on Zoom. But,
I feel like we're on Tinder right now. I'm hoping you're as good in person as you are online. That's very kind of you, Tommy.
um,
Yeah,
but I love the way you deal with people. You treat them with respect, and I think it's uh, a very important aspect of any performer. Um, that I think a lot of magicians and musicals tend not to do very well. Um, Especially younger musicians, and maybe it's because they're still feeling uh, their way into magic, and a lot
yeah,
of musicians that I see, um, they try and get the trick over as fast as possible and move on, and they forget that they have this wonderful human being in front of them. You know, they can
yeah.
say get to know a little bit and open yourself up a little bit and have them get to know you other than just being a performing monkey, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if one thing I really love about you is uh, I feel that you make that connection with the person that you're um, performing for. Is not merely a performance. It is that interaction of human to human, and I really appreciate that about you.
Thank you, Tommy. That and coming from a fellow performer, a fellow writer, a fellow storyteller, that means the world to me. Thank you. Yeah, I do love seeing the irony in things and in people, but that's because I'm fascinated by people. I love listening to them, and I know, oh, Tommy, I know we're almost at the hour mark.
Yeah,
So yeah, so that brings me to speaking of listening to people, Tommy, if it's okay with you, if we have just a few minutes left, I would love to do the Tommy Burnett Beyond Belief pre-show report. Is that okay with you?
that would be wonderful. Yes.
Okay, here we go. All right, buckle up. All right. Yeah. So first of all, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Jay and Ian and Andrew and Merson and Reg and Barbie again. Oh, and oh wow, once again, I have inflated, not unlike my ego. Thank you guys so much for being here. And Tommy, you were kind enough to ask about my play. So if anyone is interested in watching the closing night, I am including my email address. So that was a private message to our good friend Jay. I'm going to put it in the everyone chat. So yeah, it got excellent reviews from a magician named Tommy Burnett. So if you want to be as cool as Tommy Burnett and you want to watch it, just email me. Yeah, oh, and Tommy's got the cool look. We had the headache face. Now we have the cool beard stroking look. All right. So here's my pre-show report, sanctioned by Tommy. Thank you, Tommy. Oh yes, he spotlighted me. Thank you again. Um, so here's the Beyond Belief pre-show report, and this is all just from listening to you guys. I'm literally just writing down what you said verbatim. So guys, once again, as always, if you can come to the pre-show because it is absolutely fascinating. Everything you guys said was more interesting to me than anything I said on this Zoom meeting. As honored as I am to be here, you guys are fascinating. And let's start with how Tommy gets his guests ready. This is what Tommy said just before the cameras rolled. And I wrote this down verbatim. This is what Tommy was saying to his guest as the cameras first started rolling. That was horrible. After this interview, I'm going to need to take a 3-week break after this interview. And then he started the interview with personal and possibly fatal injury stories, including the advice, don't break your neck. And action. And that's how we started today's interview. Now, speaking of today's interview, Tommy, we mentioned this. This is the most English Zoom meeting I have ever been on. Everyone's like from England and Scotland. This is the most English Zoom meeting. This is the most UK imperialism Zoom meeting I have been on. I love how the only people who showed up on the 4th of July were the Brits. Way to stick it to the colonials. Yes. And then Tommy actually said, easy peasy. And I guarantee some Brit on this call finished in their minds with lemon squeezy in their best Michael Caine voice, because that's such an English thing. And then Ian, oh, I love Ian. He bragged about going to Old York, not New York, you colonials. Old York, in your face, you whiny Americans. Happy 4th of July. And he even talked about scones, not scones. You mispronouncing ignorant Americans. It is definitely scones. And speaking of ignorant Americans, that leads me to a whole new segment. Thank you, Tommy. When is Micah going to fix his audio? English Arch Villain Edition. This this goes to Ian. Ian is our new Zoom arch villain from England. He even pet his cat while he described his plans on camera in front of the Americans. And he even said, "You're very quick, but you've forgotten the game. You missed me playing games, didn't you?" There's nothing ominous about that. Wow. Okay, we have a new Bond, or at least a new Bond arch villain, and it's Ian. And Ian, the good news is you don't have to get out of bed because all you got to do is do your method acting, do what you do, my friend, and you're going to be in the next Bond movie. I can't, and then you can sponsor Tommy Burnett's Beyond Belief because he needs yet another sponsor. Okay, and then find another segment. Oh my God, this breaks my heart, but I had to write it down. Another segment. How old are we? We are so old. Yeah, we are so old that before the show, Tommy asked me if I remembered Geritol, and I did, but I couldn't quite remember all the details. That is sad and old, on, as Tommy would say, on so many levels. And no, you young kids watching the replay, Geritol is not the latest rapper Kim Kardashian is dating. No, it's a medication that most of us kind of remember. That's how old we are. I remember when the letters VCR didn't sound like an STD. Yes, and then we launched into home cures for bronchitis. Someone made it was either chicken or dinosaur sounds. Why? Because apparently they were there. I still don't know what the hell that was all about, but someone was making some sort of reptilian dinosaur sounds. My friends, we are so old. When we went uphill both ways in the snow, it wasn't just to get to school, it was to pick up Yoda on the way. That's how old we apparently are. And we are all collectively that old on this Zoom meeting. Oh, but we're still hip and edgy. How do I know? Someone mentioned, I think it was Ian, or it might have been Ian, mentioned a rubber band as his point was a mnemonic device, right? You got a rubber band on your wrist, you look down on it, and it reminds you to do something. Not for Tommy. When he brought up the rubber band, this is what Tommy did. Snap. He actually mined it. He went straight to the BDSM. And then as soon as the guy said, well, to help you remember things, Tommy was like, oh, yeah, well, wait, are we on? Or we're going to fix that in post. Tommy went right into the BDSM, you hip kids. So you're welcome. And then finally, my newest segment, winner of What's Micah's Next Boy Last Name? It's a tie. It's a two-way tie with the same guy. Once again, Ian. These are my new boy last names, my friend. Number one, Gooey Rascal. And it tied with, I swear to God, this is a real thing. I had to write it down. Yorkshire Herd Tart. If that's not a boy last name, I've never heard of one. And that is my pre-show report. And Tommy, it has been an honor to be here, my friend. Thank you for letting me open for you. And thank you all for joining us, you Brits. We love you. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you, Micah. That was great.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me do that, Tommy. I just love. Oh, thank you, Jay. We got a heart for Jay. Oh, and Tommy's going back into the BDSM. He's like, look at this. Snap, snap, snap. Yeah.
I was told to use the rubber band to remind yourself whatever it is you want to remember, you snap it, and then it ingrains in your mind, and maybe even give you a headache. But
And then you have to give the headache face. Yeah. That's why we do the headache face.
yeah,
Yeah. Because we keep injuring ourselves.
yeah. Like it was so great having you today. Thanks for being a marvelous magician and human being, and my friend.
Thank you, Tommy.
Um,
Thank you, brother.
this guy,
Thank you, Andrew.
this guy once sent me candy through the mail, chocolate. Oh no, it was a brownie.
Yeah.
Brownie. Just because there wasn't any rhyme or reason. We did it multiple times, and no other performer has done that for me.
Oh, It's a pleasure, Tommy. Yes, and yeah, you need more snacks. You need more chocolatey, sugary snacks while you do these. So that's why I sent you the brownies.
Yeah,
Yeah, brought to you by Reese's.
exactly. I can't remember the name of the brownie company. But they were really good brownies. Um,
Yeah, it's a greeting card company who make weirdly good brownies. I think they sprinkle them with just a little bit of crack. So yeah, you're welcome, Tommy. You are welcome.
yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, Micah Culver.
Thank you, guys.
You've been watching Beyond Belief with your host, Tommy Burnett. Thank you to Micah Cover. See you next time. We'll be taking a 3-week hiatus, and we'll be back on Saturday, August 1st at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, that was fun.